And 5, 4, 3.
What's up, world? Thanks for joining us on Kame-Cast today. My name's Cody, and as always, I've got Dougie Fresh with me. What's up, buddy?
Cody, my man, how you doing, brother?
Doing real good. Ready to talk about some anime tonight.
Yeah, because Lord knows if I heard any feedback from the Kame-Cast teaser show that we put up last week, it was, hey, when are you guys going to talk about some anime? So we're going to get that done today.
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, guys, I want to take a second to thank anyone that took the time to listen to our very rushed and very quickly put out and very poorly promoted teaser episode that we put up last week.
Yeah, I mean, we really appreciate anybody that listened. A few people gave us some critiques and some just mild reviews and stuff, and we really appreciate that. It gives us stuff that we didn't even think to work on. But we're just really happy that you listened to it, and it was rushed because, I mean, we got really excited. We've been doing this podcast, putting together this podcast stuff for a while now, and we finally were just real anxious. But we appreciate anybody that listened.
Yeah, like Cody said, we initially first started talking about doing this show probably, about 6 months ago, give or take?
It was probably about 6 months ago, and we've been kind of like trying to put together a format and think about stuff, and when we still are developing a lot of that stuff and kind of learning. I mean, this is pretty brand new endeavor for us.
Yeah, because, I mean, a little background on us guys. Before this, all we were just a couple amateur musicians, I guess, from from Ohio. We don't profess to be experts in anything. We just do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that we do is doo-doo.
Nah, you said doo-doo.
I said doo-doo on the air. They're going to hate me. But no, one thing that we do a lot is watch anime, and we love to talk about it. So starting here in just a second, we're going to dive deep into the Land of Waves arc from Naruto.
Naruto.
Everybody's number one knucklehead ninja.
I feel like this is the part where we should have that badass music that always plays whenever there's a super intense thing going on in the show.
That or just a really cool Wayne's World, diddly 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 diddly.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, that one that it's all the one that always gets played. That.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's called Fight Rising or something like that.
I have no clue what it's called.
Rising Fight Spirit or something like that.
I just call that song "Naruto's Gonna Get You" because whenever that song comes on,
it's like his serious face comes on and he's ready to go toe to toe with anybody.
But before I get to that, something I really wanted to kind of get into and talk to you here on the air. We talked a little bit about it off the air in the last couple of days that we've talked and it's been around each other. A bit more info has come out on Jump Force.
Yeah, the Jump Force, and again, for anybody who does not know, Jump Force is a video game similar to Japan's release of J-Stars. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's the equivalent of anime meets Mortal Kombat, if you will.
If you will.
But it's a little bit more loose interpretation than that. But so we've seen gameplay of it now. We've seen in-game footage, and it's really smooth. People are comparing it, the layout-wise, kind of similar to Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Fighters, however you pronounce that.
Yeah, it's similar to that in that it's another 3-on-3 fighter. I see a lot of similarities, just looking at the gameplay. It looks like a super amped up version of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know you've kind of fringe played those a bit when you've been over here, but I have all 4 of them and I've played them and they're amazing games. So if this game plays at all like those, I'll be super happy.
And they're saying it's going to be, obviously with all the different amalgamations of characters are in this, it's going to be an original story, but it's completely done up, and from what they're saying, it's going to be really cool, to the point of it even involves characters that aren't traditionally fight-based, like Ryuk and Light Yagami.
Yeah, that was one thing, because I remember when you and I first heard about this, we were talking about, okay, what do we want to see out of this game? And pretty much everything that I said I would want to see in this game, the developers have already come out and said, hey, yeah, this is going to be what it is. I wanted to, because for me, my big things had to have a comprehensive story mode, because the last Bandai Namco game I played was Fighters, and Fighters had a very, very good original story mode.
Yeah.
And so to hear the developers say, yes, this is going to be a comprehensive story mode, and it's going to be these characters coming together to fight a common enemy, and interesting thing, the fact that it's going to be set, from what I understand and from what they've said in interviews, it's going to be set in our world.
Yeah, it's kind of like from what I understand, these developers are saying that they kind of like the villains, if you will. They cross over into our world, and the good guys show up to save the day. But it's powered through the Unreal generator. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely looks beautiful.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't guess the first time I saw the gameplay that it was Unreal. It wasn't until the Unreal logo popped up that I saw it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that really makes sense. But
another thing that I really liked in the interviews, they were saying we really took our time and built this game for the fans in mind. It wasn't just like let's throw a bunch of characters together for a cash grab.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not that. You can, and it's tough to say without having actually played anything, but just looking at the footage, you can tell that there was love put into this. Like, even small details, like they released footage of Sasuke versus Zoro, and there were little details to each character that they just got so right. Like, specifically Sasuke. There's the bit where Sasuke uses Amaterasu, the black eternal flame that he got from using a Sharingan.
Yeah, and in past games, you use it and it quickly fades away.
Yeah, whereas in this game, he uses it, and then the whole area around where he launched it, for the rest of the fight, it's still just burning and continuing. And I think that little touches like that, if they keep up with little touches like that, that's the stuff that's going to add up and make a great game.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. The only other thing that actually was the icing on the cake for that part for me was, even if you were still in the flames, like if you exited it, it wouldn't hurt you, but if you walked through it again, you were still taking fight damage.
Yeah, I mean, so if they can just do things like that, little touches like that, that game's going to come out great. But the other things that I wanted to see were a massive roster, which they've come out and said, yes, this is going to be a very in-depth roster. This game is coming out to celebrate 50 years of the Shonen Jump manga magazine. And so they have 50 years worth of history to draw from, so you can imagine the characters. I mean, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Dr. Slump, Hunter x Hunter.
I'm pretty sure they showed Rurouni Kenshin in there too as well.
Rurouni Kenshin would be awesome. But yeah, there's all kinds of different characters that looks like they're going to be in there. Oh, and My Hero Academia, that'll be another one. I remember when I was listening to the interview was given through the Japanese developer, and he had a translator there.
Yeah.
But whenever they asked about certain shows, are these characters going to be in, like they asked about Yu Yu Hakusho and My Hero Academia specifically, and the guy straight answered them in English and just went, no comment. So that tells me right there that, okay, they're keeping this pretty close to the vest, so I'm guessing this roster is going to be pretty special.
Oh, yeah.
And the only other thing that I really wanted to see was just, I wanted the gameplay to match the theatricality that we saw in the trailer. And if that demo gameplay is anything to go by, they're accomplishing that. Yeah. So all the boxes that I wanted to be ticked, looks like they're going to tick them, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, so final notes on that is just, it looks beautiful. It looks like it's going to be comprehensively just so much fun to play. And as we get more information on it and it gets closer to an actual release date, we'll give you more information on that, because it definitely will be something that we follow and are really excited for. So with that said, we are going to jump into the topic of discussion today right after this song.
Come on!輝く星は今も遠くにある失ってゆく求めながら奪われてゆく与えながら誰のためでなく誰のものでなく俺たちの今が思い重ね夢を重ね日々を重ね汗にまみれ涙こらえ血をたぎらせ戦うことも愛し合うことも遥か光の On the way信じながら傷つけてきた祈りながら誰のことでなく誰のせいでなく俺たちの今を痛みほどき心ほどき影をほどき息を詰めて走り抜けろ闇を裂いて悲しむことも夢を見ることも終わりはしない On the way汗にまみれ涙こらえ血をたぎらせ I wanna relax 胸にリラックス I wanna relax 胸にリラックス I wanna relax I wanna relax
And that's a big shout out to Rocks by Hound Dog, the original opening theme to Naruto.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of my favorite openings. I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite, but it's the Land of Waves arc opening song.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the only one that makes sense to play here, so we figured that'd be a good place to do it. So I figure now probably be a good time before we get into the discussion just to say, for those of you that enjoyed the local band segment last week, which I did hear some feedback, from people saying they like that. Thank you for that, and thank you to the Second Story Anthem guys for allowing us to use the music for our first show. We definitely appreciate that. But what we want to do is, with each show that we do, we're going to feature a different kind of music. For shows like the one that we did for the teaser, which Cody affectionately refers to as our life shows, the live shows are going to be very different from the anime shows. The live shows are basically us hitting record and talking about whatever we feel like talking about. Sometimes we'll have a guest with us, sometimes it'll just be me and Cody like it was last week. But when we're not doing that, we're going to be doing our anime discussion videos, which is what we're bringing to you today. And so with each one, we kind of wanted to approach the music differently. So with this being the anime show, we're going to feature anime music, or music related to the show that we're talking about. So I figured that this would be a good one to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. It can't get any better than the opening song with the opening pod.
So with that, we're going to get into our very first of what will be many discussions going forward. And I couldn't think of a better way to start than with the very first arc of, I think, between the two of us, probably our favorite anime that we discovered together, probably, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the Land of Waves arc of Naruto. And Cody's going to give you a little bit of a summary as to the first bit of what we're going to talk about here.
Yeah, so overall breakdown of the Land of Waves is it's the first real serious mission that Team Kakashi has put on, and they're given a mission to just take a random guy back to his village. They don't know who he is. They don't know what rank this guy is in his village or anything like that. Just a simple guard this guy, make sure he doesn't die.
Literally all they know about him is that he's a bridge builder and he needs someone to escort him back to his home, which is the Land of Waves, and then, so he can continue to build his bridge.
And then just give him just general protection while he's building this bridge.
Yeah, realistically, and even the third Hokage says that this is a mission that he shouldn't even really give to them because it's above their rank. But Naruto kicked up such a fuss, kind of threw a little bit of a little kid hissy fit there, and third Hokage gave him his way.
Yeah, so basically, just to jump in right at the beginning, the episode opens up. They had just finished a little D rank mission, and all their missions are ranked D, C, B, A, and S rank. S rank being the most elite, which would be like a team of Kakashis.
Yeah, like they go on to talk about the different rank of ninja, the lowest being Genin, which Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke fall into that category. Then you got Chunins, and then Jonin, which is the level Kakashi's at, and the Jonin are like the elite of the elite. Yeah. I think the only way to go up from there would be to go to Kage, and once you're at Kage level, that's
there's nobody really above you.
Yeah,
unless you're a feudal lord, but
yeah, you're acknowledged at that point as the strongest in your village.
Yeah. But anyway, so they just got back from this D rank mission, and they've been doing tons of them, picking litter up in the river, cleaning, taking groceries home. The specific mission they just got back from was catching an old lady's cat. And it's actually funny because the cat just paws the crap out of Naruto's face, and Naruto's like, okay, I've had enough of this. So he whines like a little baby, and third Hokage, he's like, okay, you little craphead, here's a mission for you, and just throws him a random mission, not knowing what is about to unfold.
Yeah, I think if third Hokage had any idea that what was gonna happen going forward was going to happen, he would have just said, yeah, you know what, why don't you go babysit those kids like we were going to originally make you do.
Yeah.
So picks up, they're given the mission, and at this point we're introduced to Tazuna, the bridge builder, and he kind of makes a quick crack on the team, makes the comment basically saying, oh wow, you're sending a bunch of kids to guard me.
Yeah, he is not happy about it. He's like, oh great, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. So they leave the village and they're getting ready to go out and start this mission. And Naruto's super excited because it's his first time leaving the village, and it's his first, in his eyes, first real ninja mission.
Yeah.
So in his eyes, it's like, oh wow, I've made it. I'm finally doing what I want to do here. And so they go off and they start walking.
And they've been walking. They walked for quite a while, and then it's just to give you perspective. It's a nice sunny day out. They notate that it hasn't rained in a while, and they're walking along and they step in a puddle. It's weird. Why is a puddle there?
Yeah, and they don't really make a huge deal about it at the time, but it is kind of weird that hey, there is a puddle on this perfectly dry, sunny day.
Cut to 2 seconds later, and Kakashi is absolutely ripped to pieces.
Yeah, you see these chains kind of like come out of nowhere, and they like all wrap around Kakashi, and there's just this crazy shot of the chains kind of like just being pulled, and Kakashi just gets ripped to shreds.
And then there's 2 ninja, and they start hauling ass towards the group because they made a manji formation to protect the bridge builder.
And what is a manji formation, Cody?
It is the formation where they take a kind of almost triangular angle or triangular position around the target, trying to defend.
Yeah, so they do this formation, and the ninjas start rushing at him, and Naruto, who up until this point has really been running his mouth a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's the baddest there's ever been.
Yeah,
he's the main character, so he absolutely steps up and does absolutely nothing. He completely freezes.
I mean, like, we're talking Eminem and 8 Mile at the beginning levels of choke game here.
Yeah.
And one of the ninja comes up and is like gearing up to just take a huge ass chunk out of Naruto, when out of nowhere
Sasuke
Uchiha
pops in, and what's he do?
He does this really cool move, and I love the shot. It's like Sasuke just kind of falls from above them, and then the next thing you see is like Sasuke upside down, like kicking these guys, like almost like hitting them under the chin.
Yeah.
It's just this real badass shot. He just like hits them both at once.
Yep,
like
sends them both flying. And then is it at that moment where he's like, you weren't scared, were you? Or is that after?
That's a little later.
Okay.
So Sasuke steps up and is really kind of doing a pretty good job of taking these guys out. I think he even manages to stop the guy who's swinging the chain by throwing a kunai and getting the chain stuck to a tree.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you got it. Props to Sasuke here, man. Because at this point in the show, we're not aware of how much training this kid has had. But even going back to the bell test stuff, where he's doing, the fire style fireball jutsu.
Yeah, it's very well documented how gifted Sasuke is.
Yeah, so to see him come up like this and just completely shine it kind of put it in perspective as to where Sasuke is compared to where Naruto is at this point.
So at that point, he saved Naruto, and he's dealing with one of the water ninja, and the other water ninja breaks off and heads towards Sakura and the bridge builder. And to her credit, she steps up, she gets in the way, and she is intent on guarding the bridge builder with her life.
Yeah, I mean, as much crap as I like to give Part 1 Sakura, I mean, anyone that knows me and has talked about this with me, I've been very vocal about the fact that while I do not hate Sakura as a character, especially in Shippuden, I think she grows by leaps and bounds by the time you get to that, but in Part 1, I was never a huge fan of her. I felt like she was kind of like an auxiliary character that didn't necessarily need to be there. She just kind of existed to give Naruto and Sasuke something to feud over, in a way. Yeah. Even though the feud was definitely more on Naruto's side, I don't think Sasuke really cared one way or the other.
Sasuke never gave like 2 rips.
But I'll give her credit here. I mean, for a character who at this point in time I kind of wrote off as useless, she steps up and attempts to protect the bridge builder and fulfill her mission like a ninja's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so Sasuke is coming up, and he's gonna jump in and save her, and then what happens?
He's on his way, and you're kind of like, holy crap, Kakashi's dead. This ninja's closing in on Sakura. He's gonna kill Sakura. How did they even get out of this? When out of nowhere,
Bam!
with the clothesline saving the day, Kakashi rolls in like, what?
Yeah, the guy that we just saw get ripped to shreds, not even 5 minutes prior, just shows up like a complete badass and just one-shots both these guys.
Throws him over his shoulder, walks over and says, sorry, Naruto. I would have helped you out, but I didn't think you'd freeze like that.
Yeah, nothing hurts more than teacher burn.
Yeah.
Well, except one thing, which is what, Code?
The mom burn.
The what?
The mom burn.
The mom burn. Well, yes, the mom burn, but I mean for Naruto specifically, the teacher burn might suck, but I would like to think that maybe the rival burn might hurt just a little more.
Yeah, that's the moment when Sasuke comes up and he's like, you weren't scared, were you? Doesn't he call him a scaredy cat?
Yeah, he's like, hey, you're not hurt, are you? Scaredy cat. And Naruto is just completely taken aback because, he'd spent all this time building himself up as this great ninja. Like, you even hear him say to Tazuna before they start the mission, hey, you better learn my name and respect it because I'm the next Hokage. And so when he's actually faced with an enemy, he freezes up, and the guy that he's dead set on becoming stronger than swoops in and saves him, and then not only saves him, but completely insults him.
Oh, it just train wrecks him.
I mean, so Naruto is completely just... He's probably at the lowest we've seen him at this point in the series. And... Oh, and one thing we forgot to mention, because this kind of plays into what we're going to talk about next, one of the ninja was using some form of poison. I think it was the guy with the chain. They were saying, he's got poison in his blade or something. And Naruto gets a cut and has got poison going into the cut in his body.
Yeah, but before that, it cuts to Kakashi where he's like, sorry to leave you guys alone. I needed to figure out who their target was. And he very boldly is like, now that I know what's going on, because he figured out that the ninja were not going after other ninja, they were specifically targeting Tazuna, the bridge builder.
Yeah, they made a point, when they could have taken out the ninja to specifically go after the bridge builder.
Yeah.
So that pretty much tells Kakashi everything he needs to know right there.
And in that moment, we learn that there's a thug, kind of like mafia boss guy, named Gato, who has put a hit out on Tazuna.
I remember watching this when I was a kid, and I thought it was Gato.
Gato.
Yeah. I don't know why, even though I heard him say Gato, in my mind it was just, hey, it's Gato. Maybe it's just the way they spelled it.
Maybe, yeah. But, so they've got a hit on him, and at that moment, they kind of have they have this moment where they're like, hey, this is way above our pay grade. Maybe we should go back.
Yeah. Are you talking about the moment where Tazuna is kind of guilting them into staying? Because I think that happens a little later.
Well, no, because there's two moments. There's that right there where because it's Sakura, she's like, this is way above our thing.
Yeah, because Kakashi makes a point to say, look, if we would have known that this was what we were up against, because, like you said, if they'd have known, when they initially signed up for this mission, it was supposed to be just a basic, hey, we're going to protect you from, thugs and smugglers and, normal shit. If we'd have known that we were going to be facing enemy ninja, we would have staffed differently, because we're a bunch of genin, and we got a jonin here, but still, we got a bunch of kids. We would have staffed differently if we would have known.
And in that moment, they're like, we should probably go back, get Naruto all healed up and everything. And it's Naruto who, at this moment, he realizes that he's been poisoned, and Kakashi's like, we need to get the poison out of you. And Naruto, in this moment, he takes out a kunai, and just very, very hastily, not without any thought, slams this kunai into his hand, and what does he do?
He makes a blood pact with nobody in particular. I think it's implied that he's like making it with Tazuna, but I kind of read it as he's just making a blood pact for the sake of making a blood pact, and he swears on his bleeding wound that he will never freeze up like that again. And about this time, Kakashi's like, hey, that's a really nice gesture and all, but you're gonna bleed out.
And then he like starts freaking out like a little kid again. All that cool stuff he just said completely wiped out by the fact that he's now shedding his
Which, to be
pants.
fair, I mean, I would not ever want to imagine the level of pain that is a kunai going into your hand. These anime people have such a higher threshold for this type of bullshit than we would.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'd be able to do that. To just slam a kunai halfway through my hand.
Yeah, I mean, like even I see it in like pretty much in every anime I love. I'm sitting there watching all these characters take such a beating, or just have such graphically painful things happen to them, and I'm just like, man, I would have curled up in a ball and died like 5 minutes into this.
It always makes me think when I see stuff like that, because they're so calm and collected. They're never like freaking out that there's like a blade or something sticking halfway out of them.
Yeah.
But it always makes me think of Ace Ventura when he's in that fight scene and he's got the arrow in his leg and he's like, ah! And then they throw another one and he's like switching back and forth between them, both of them.
Yeah, like which one's hurting at that moment?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what it always makes me think of.
But anyway, so if I'm not mistaken, after this scene, so they bandage Naruto up. Oh, but as Kakashi's bandaging him up, he's seeing that the wound is already starting to heal pretty quickly.
Yeah, and he wonders if that is attributed to the Nine Tails that is sealed away inside of Naruto. And for those of you who don't know, because we did skip a couple beginning episodes.
Yeah, we skipped like the first 3 to 5 episodes just because it's
which is a brief recap of that. Just to go back real quick, it starts out with all the kids still in school. They haven't graduated to Genin. So all they have to do is do a transformation jutsu, and they graduate. Well, Naruto wasn't able to do it, but he's tricked into stealing this secret jutsu from the Hidden Leaf.
The secret scroll.
Yeah, scroll.
With a bunch of forbidden jutsu on it.
And he's hunted down by, what's that guy's name? Mizuki. And in that moment where he's perceived as a bad person, like truly what evil spirit is, by Mizuki. He's very lovingly defended by Iruko.
Yeah, Iruka, who is Naruto's teacher in the academy, who goes on to become one of the pillars of Naruto's
he essentially
life.
Is almost the replacement for his father.
Yeah, father, big brother, whatever you want to call him. Which is crazy when you think about it, because if anyone has a reason to hate Naruto, it would be Iruka.
Yeah. But anyways, in this moment, Mizuki. Yeah, Mizuki is making Naruto feel bad, and he tells Naruto didn't know this, but he tells Naruto that the attack on the village so many years ago was actually the nine-tailed demon fox spirit, which was sealed away inside of Naruto.
Yeah, and we're not given a whole lot of exposition on what all goes down, how that all happens at this point in the show, but it's implied that this is something that was a very big deal to the village, and that a lot of people died when the Nine Tails showed up, and then the fourth Hokage, who we don't know a whole lot about, we just know that he's this great hero that died to protect the village, and he sealed the nine-tailed fox spirit in Naruto.
He sacrificed his life to save the village and seal the Nine Tails away. And it's also implied in these first few episodes that Naruto is not liked by generally everybody.
Yeah. And, he's pretty much the social outcast. I mean, he lives on his own, and, no one really interacts with him. Parents tell their kids not to play with him, and he acts out because of that. In the very first episode, we see him drawing on the Hokage statues, and, causing trouble in class, not doing his jutsu properly, and all that stuff. But anyway, so as it's going on, to kind of cut a long story short, Naruto uses a jutsu that he learned out of the scroll to save Iruka, who's about to be killed by Mizuki, to do the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which becomes basically Naruto's standard go-to jutsu in every single fight that he has going forward. But it's not what makes this so impressive isn't so much the fact that Naruto can do the Shadow Clone Jutsu, because there are ninja out there that can do it. But what makes it so impressive is that here's this kid, not even out of the academy yet, first time doing the jutsu, and creates over 1,000.
He instantly masters this jutsu, creating literally the most shadow clones anyone's probably ever seen.
At once.
Yeah. But, just to end recap, jump back to the main plot. Kakashi's wondering if it's the Nine Tails that is healing Naruto so quickly, which, in point, he is correct.
Yeah. And, but anyway, so, basically all that happens after the Shadow Clone thing is, Naruto graduates, he meets his classmates, he meets Kakashi. Kakashi tests them, everything's good, hey, they're all ninja, and here we are on this mission.
Yeah. So then they're done with these two water ninja. They've decided to go ahead and take Tazuno all the way back to the village, and then I think they were just going to end the mission at that point.
Yeah, I think initially that was their plans. Like, they were at least going to get him to the village, and then they would just turn around and go home.
Yeah. So they make it to the Land of Waves. They haven't made it quite home yet, but I remember the scene. They're on the boat, and they got to be quiet and everything, and they make it to the Land of Waves. But before they can actually make it home, Naruto, who is very, very alert and rambunctious at this point, is just kind of throwing kunai at anything he thinks could be a threat.
And winds up taking out a bunny hiding in a bush.
Yeah. And at first you would think that's okay, it's a bunny. There's nothing weird about that.
Yeah, Naruto's all sad and like trying to go cuddle the bunny.
Yeah, but
sorry, little rabbit.
Then it kind of cuts to Kakashi. Mentally, he notates that it's weird to see that type of rabbit in this climate at this time of year.
Yeah, which at this point you got to give Kakashi like OG 1,000 points, because he's like a million times more perceptive than I would ever be in a situation like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it just really shows that how much he knows his stuff.
So as Kakashi's kind of just pondering on this, he quickly yells, "Everyone get down!" And this big-ass gigantic sword just goes swiping and nearly takes out everybody. And then just gets stuck in a tree. And then someone quickly jumps on top of the sword. And it is at this point that we are revealed to the first big bad of the series, a little guy we like to call Zabuza.
Is it Zabuza? I thought it was Zabuzu.
Zabuzu.
Do I have that wrong?
It's Zabuza, but Zabuzu, I'm making that into a t-shirt. Like, that's coming to you here like in the next couple months, the Zabuzu t-shirt.
Zabuzu. What? Okay, just so I'm going to roll with that. Zabuzu, what kind of animal would that be?
I don't know. In my mind, I imagine it as like a zebra, but like with Zabuza's body.
Like a zebra, just with Zabuza's like clothing and everything.
Like BoJack Horseman, but it's a zebra and he's dressed like Zabuza.
Okay, I could dig that. That's funny. Yeah. So Zabuza jumps up on that and he notates I think actually you skipped a part where he notates, holy crap, this is going to be a lot tougher, and here's why those two ninja failed.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a anime fan, not a journalist. I don't recall every single detail.
You're supposed to know the facts. You're supposed to know every single detail.
Said every comment section ever.
Why don't you have this 100% right? Because I'm human.
Yeah. Anyway.
So in rolls Abuza, who is about to kick ass.
Yeah. And so Kakashi, realizing that, okay, seeing who his opponent is, because Zabuza's a pretty well-known ninja, and he knows a thing or two about Kakashi as well. So Kakashi realizing, okay, this is going to be a pretty tough battle.
Kakashi immediately says, okay, we're not holding back in this fight. We're going all out. And not like your Goku, I'm going all out, where there's like more levels that he could go. Kakashi very much goes all out.
Yeah, plays his trump card right off the bat. Pulls up his headband that at this point has been covering his left eye through the whole series, and we've never really been explained, no one's really explained to us why. So Kakashi pulls the headband up, opens his eye, and reveals a eyeball with a red kind of tint to the iris and a very weird, almost kind of like spin wheel pattern.
Yeah. Which we affectionately refer to as
the Sharingan. Yeah. Or Sharingan, as they like to say.
Sharingan.
As they like to say at this point in the series.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, obviously it's meant to be, but it's one of the coolest. You're not introduced to this word yet, but I'm going to say it anyways. Kekkei Genkai. Which is a birth trait passed down through a certain clan or family. But you learn about that kind of later through another character. But it leads into this moment where Sasuke is questioning. He's like, you're not sure what he's questioning, but he's questioning something about Kakashi, and I think it's kind of like is he a new Uchiha or isn't he a new Uchiha?
Yeah,
I know you kind of have a
different
opinion of that.
No. That was my opinion.
Oh, okay.
My opinion was that he thought maybe Kakashi was another Uchiha survivor.
Yeah, because I remember that now because you told me that. Because originally I thought it had to do with like maybe he weirdly thought Kakashi was his older brother. Because I mean it had been a while since they've seen each other.
It had been a while, but I don't know if it had been that long a while. Because the thing that I didn't even really think about until I was listening to a Swag Kage. Well, I was watching a Swag Kage video the other day. Shout out to Swag Kage, amazing Naruto YouTuber. I use him to get a lot of my information because he's a very reliable source.
Oh, super knowledgeable.
Super knowledgeable. I mean, the guy does that for a living, so I mean, I would he has to be pretty knowledgeable, I would think. But so. In a video that I was watching, he was talking about Sasuke's brother and how, by the time by the time his brother Itachi dies, spoiler alert, he's only in his early 20s, which puts him at about 16, 17.
Yeah, because
what puts him at like a little older than what Sasuke is now at this point in the series when he does the Uchiha massacre.
Yeah. Well, no, because I thought they defined his age later on. Like, when all that happened, I thought they gave him a specific age.
Well, yeah, it is a specific age, but I don't remember exactly what the specific age is. But at the point in time in the series that we encounter him later, he's still a young man. He's only in his early to maybe mid-20s.
Yeah. Because, do they say how older Itachi is than Sasuke?
I don't think it's stated in the series, especially at this point, but I mean, there are sources online that'll tell you all that stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, so Kakashi decides he's going to pull out the Sharingan, and basically one of the abilities that the Sharingan gives its user is the ability to copy jutsu, which Kakashi then uses to really kind of mindfuck Zabuza and start using a bunch of his techniques against him.
Yeah. But before that, I mean, so just base level Sharingan is it copies and it reads almost before you even use the jutsu. It reads the jutsu down to like exact carbon copy.
Yeah, and I mean it's which is where we get Kakashi the copy ninja. You hear Zabuza call him that, and apparently this is why he gets that.
But the downside, and they don't really say it at this point, or I don't even know if they truly acknowledge it right away, but the Sharingan takes a great level of chakra to use, which the Uchiha are naturally born with a very vast amount of chakra.
Yeah, and they're bred specifically to use that, whereas someone like Kakashi is not born to use something like the Sharingan, so it's going to take a bit more out of him than it would someone like Sasuke, who at this point is not really just shown to really even know how to use the Sharingan.
Yeah, if I remember right, he has not awoken that.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's originally awakened, quote unquote, when Itachi takes out his clan, but he doesn't really know how to use it until a bit that we're going to talk about later.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I remember that now.
Yeah. But
so anyways, the fight begins, and you see that in the aspect of he uses something called the hidden mist jutsu.
Yeah, which it's one of those jutsu names where like the name describes what it does.
Yeah.
It hides you in mist.
Yeah, it literally big foggy clouds roll in, and you can't really see what's going on. And which is great for Zabuza because he's known as the hidden demon of the mist.
Yeah, and this is pretty much his calling card. He'll surround his people in mist and make it so tough for them to find him, where he can see just fine and he can take you out.
And he basically is known for killing people before they even hear him. And because of that, the mist has rolled in. He uses that to his advantage, and I mean he disappears.
Yeah, and pretty quickly Kakashi picks up on what's going on and gets everyone into Manji formation again, which at this point I'm starting to think is like this team's calling card. I'm wondering if that's the only defensive tactic Kakashi has taught them at this point.
It's like it's the only thing he's taught them. He's like, okay guys, I'm gonna teach you something super important, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna learn a super secret new jutsu. It's gonna help. We're gonna win. And he's like, you stand there, and Naruto, stand right over there. And they're like, okay, now what? Now pull out a kunai knife, and just look menacing. Kunai. And they're like, okay, now what? And he's like, it's called the Manji formation. Learn it, love it, be it.
Live it.
Yeah. And they're like, what?
Which, I mean, to be fair, at this point, I mean, what else would they have really needed to know for the level of missions that they were supposed to have been taken at this point?
Right, yeah. So, I mean, they're nowhere near advanced to properly handle this situation.
Right. But, so they get into Manji formation, and things get real quiet and real kind of suspenseful. You kind of feel it. You get the vibe that's like, okay, we're really on edge. And Kakashi, quickly, you see a blue kind of aura surround Kakashi, and it's him channeling his chakra and powering up. And Sasuke sees this and has, I think it's safe to call it an existential crisis, right?
Well, now let's clarify real quick. Like three episodes back in this arc, those two ninja attack, and Sasuke saves the day. Yeah. Sasuke steps up in a big way. He's the hero. Now flash forward to this, and he is like in such turmoil over what is happening and everything. Like it's so like time for them is moving so slowly. He starts, like you said, he has this like crisis mode where he's like, I don't know if I can bear this. Maybe I should just end it for myself right now.
Yeah, because I mean, he even notes that, like, wow, this is the first time I'm feeling this level of fighting. Like, wow, Jonin level combat. This is intense.
To the point of he starts to turn his kunai on himself.
Yeah, he's ready to just say fuck it, and then Kakashi winds up quickly surmising how Sasuke feels and tells him, "Hey, calm down."
Yeah, anything you could ever want to know about Kakashi, this one line right here sets up Kakashi to a T. I will not let my comrades die.
Yeah, that is pretty much, yeah, like you said, if one quote could sum up a character perfectly, that is the quote that sums up Kakashi, and he will do anything. You get the feeling right there that he will do anything to make sure that his people are going to make it out of there okay.
And then snap to just a second later, and you hear Zabuza say, "Too late, Kakashi." And what happens next? Bam! Zabuza standing in probably the coolest stance ever.
Yeah.
In the middle of this Manji formation.
Yeah, just
literally all he would have to do is like quick spin, and he could literally take out the bridge builder, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura.
Yeah.
All in one fell swoop.
Yeah, which he is completely prepared to do. He's got his sword cocked behind him. He's ready to deliver the final blow.
Yeah.
Kakashi quickly gets over there.
Yeah, it's
and
like speed of lightning, just comes in there and lands a killing blow into Zabuza. And Zabuza starts bleeding out of this mark. Only it pans down and it's not blood, it's water. So very quickly we're like, oh shit, water clone.
Yeah, like not even knowing what a water clone is at this point. I even remember the first time I saw this, that was like one of the first things that came to my mind. Is like, okay, this guy can make clones of himself out of water.
Yeah. So then it splits to you hear, I think it's you hear Zabuza say, "Fight's over now."
Yeah, and Kakashi.
And Zabuza pops up and he absolutely cuts Kakashi in half.
Yeah, so that's 2 times today
Yeah.
that we have seen Kakashi just completely bite it.
Yeah, I mean he ripped in half. It really wonders how much trauma these kids have just gone through, like if they didn't already know what was happening. Because I mean, to us it really does look like Kakashi's ripped in half.
Yeah.
And then right then and there, it flashes to Zabuza's face, and a kunai pops up, and you hear Kakashi say, "No, now it's over."
Mm-hmm. And then, shit. What happens next? I'm completely drawing a blank. This is bad producer etiquette. But shit. What the fuck happens next, Cody?
So then right there, it's revealed that that's another water clone. And
right. Okay, I remember. I'm sorry.
And so the real Zabuza comes out to attack that Kakashi, and it's the real Kakashi. So he's like slinging blade here, and Kakashi's like ducking out of the way and everything. And he actually, I think he takes a hit, if I remember right. I think he takes a hit, but he escapes at the same time from that hit.
Who, Kakashi?
Yeah, Kakashi. Because he escapes into the water, and then the bridge builder, Zabuza is like, now's my chance. And he grabs the blade and he takes off to run and kill the bridge builder. And he realizes that Kakashi has laid all those traps on the ground for him, at which he himself dives into the water.
Yeah. Yeah, you really get a taste of Kakashi the tactician here. He's very tactical in his approach to trying to take this guy out.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to like think moves ahead. But so now Kakashi's in the water and he pops up, and Kakashi notes that the water feels very dense and very off.
Yeah, and right about this time you see a bunch of the water just kind of rise up and surround Kakashi.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, whoa, what the hell? How? It's like, what is this?
Yeah. So then you get Kakashi. He's in this, we'll call it a ball of water, because Zabuza hasn't stated what it is yet. But he's like, but then Zabuza pops up and he's like, now I have you in my water prison jutsu. So he's locked in there and there's nothing he can do. So Zabuza creates another water clone. And he's like, now I can pick off the rest of the kids and kill the bridge builder without you interfering.
Yeah, and the reason that he's creating the water clone to do this is all while he's using the clone to fight everyone else. The real Zabuza has to keep his hand in position on this water prison jutsu. Otherwise, if he lets up, Kakashi will be able to break out.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's calling the water clone and sicking them on everyone else.
So now we've got, just to reiterate, Kakashi's in a water prison. The real Zabuza is holding him there in prison. And he has created his own water clone, which he is sending to attack the group. And now we have this moment where Kakashi is telling them that the water clone can only go so far away, that they need to retreat and leave him. That not to worry, just get out of here, save the bridge builder, save yourself.
Yeah, to which we hear Sasuke say via inner monologue,
yeah,
that running away, no longer was an option once you became a prisoner.
Yeah, which, I mean, he mentally, he's basically reiterating what Kakashi said to them. He took that wholeheartedly, and he said, in his mind, he's now thinking, I won't leave my comrades behind because you won't.
Yeah, and then tactically it makes sense because he even says even if we were to leave, Zabuza would have a very easy time picking them off without Kakashi backing them up.
Yeah, absolutely. So then I think right there it flashes to Naruto, who for a moment, I wouldn't say he freezes, he just has this like scared thought moment. And then I think he goes to stand up and puts his hand on the ground, and he feels that pain from that blood pact that he made with himself earlier.
Yeah, and then we're treated to kind of a flashback sequence of just kind of to give you a recap of everything Naruto had been through up to that point that kind of helped make him who he is. And, so for half a second, it looks like Naruto's going to freeze and have an oh shit moment again. But then he stands up and proceeds to say, nope, not this time. I'm going to stand up and fight.
And he says, you ready to do this, Sasuke? And Sasuke, who is basically remotivated himself by Naruto standing up and proclaiming that he's ready to do this.
Yeah.
They both go in and they launch their attacks, which at this point they're not fighting together, they're just working to fight at the water clone.
Yeah, which is crazy because as it goes on, man, it's like on the fly these guys become like the ultimate tag team.
Yeah, they very quickly learn to work together.
Yes.
Very, very well, to the point where one person's thinking one thing, and as he's doing it, the other person catches on and follows through with the plan, in which at first Sasuke goes in and he gets the holy hell beat out of him, and he's on the ground, and to which point Naruto launches his attack, which is to make a bunch of clones.
Yeah, we are brought. He brings back the Shadow Clone Jutsu for the first time, really, since. Well, he used it in the bell test for a second, didn't he, against Kakashi?
I think he did.
Like, he tried to use it, and then Kakashi caught on and was like, yeah, no, fuck this.
Yeah.
So he brings out the Shadow Clones, brings out quite a few of them, and basically they all pile on top of Zabuza, to which Zabuza, lets him get on him, and then just kind of says, nope.
Boom! Beats him back, and actually he loses his headband in that moment.
Naruto does?
Yeah, you remember? Yeah. He loses his headband, and he gets a little discouraged, but then he's like, no, we're doing this. And he rushes in himself again, just to get the headband back.
Yeah, which, I mean, that headband holds a lot of sentimental value because I believe that's the one that Iruka gave him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think all the way through, I don't think he ever loses the Iruka headband.
Well, jumping ahead a bit, but I know at the very beginning of Shippuden, when he's reunited with Iruka for the first time, he mentions that he had to get a new headband, which I think...
I think it's just the cover.
That's what I'm saying. The cloth itself, I think he changed, but the actual emblem is still the same one.
Yeah. But, so anyways, he gets that headband back because a real shinobi never does battle without their headband, their proper headgear.
Yeah, Naruto's really, like, that's it. Doing everything properly as a proper ninja is super important to him, which is funny, you know, given this kid who up to this point we've never seen have a problem to break the rules.
Right.
But now that he's actually in a position where he's doing what he wants to do, he really has a respect for that code of conduct, and that's kind of cool to see in him at this point. Shows the little bit of growth that he's had
absolutely
up until this point.
Yeah. So then you march in, or excuse me. So the next thing to happen is Sasuke. Sasuke has been freed. He's no longer under the foot of water clone Zabuza. And Naruto launches another clone attack. But in doing so, all these clones are beaten back, and Naruto is flying across the ground, and he pulls out. As he's doing this, he pulls out this big, just massive shuriken, and he tosses it to Sasuke, and he's like, "Here, Sasuke," and Sasuke catches it, and there's this, like, I always call it like an 8-bit moment, because it's like when you're playing like 8-bit video games, there's like that rock formation that's like, that doesn't look right. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like you're talking about the moment when Sasuke gets the shuriken?
Yeah.
And you kind of have that. You see the look in his eye.
Yeah, he has that look, and I always call it the 8-bit moment because it's like when you see a wall or something that's like hiding something in the video game. You're like, that doesn't look right.
Okay,
I should investigate.
What stone is not like the others? Kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So he does the call out and everything, and he does, what is it? The windmill demon.
Oh, the demon wind shuriken, windmill of shadows.
Yeah, looking very menacing.
Yeah, and so Sasuke sends the shuriken flying, bypasses the water clone and goes straight for the real Zabuza.
And Zabuza's like, smart boy.
Yeah,
Go for the real body.
Yeah, kind of cool that even the villain at this point is giving them props. Like, okay, you know, they're using smart-ish fighting tactics.
But then he catches it, and you're like, oh shit, he caught it, and he's like, I told you, a shuriken will never hit me. And then out of nowhere you get
a second shuriken that I guess was hiding in the shadow of the first one. It was some kind of shuriken jutsu.
Yeah, it was hidden.
It was like Shadow Shuriken Jutsu or something like that. I'm blanking on the actual name. That might have been it. But so he being Zabuza, sees the other Shuriken coming and quickly jumps up and you know, once again says, "I told you, a Shuriken won't hit me."
Yeah.
And then
right about that time, the Shuriken goes underneath him, and it goes a couple yards out behind him, and oddly enough, the shuriken no longer looks like a shuriken.
Yeah, it's looking an awful lot like a kid.
Blonde-haired, goofy, knuckle-headed, orange jumpsuit wearing Naruto.
Yeah, so Naruto, basically, as it's revealed, Naruto used all the mayhem of sending his clones to transform himself into the shuriken.
And let's actually, real quick, before we go any further, you know, it's so glossed over, and I never thought about it till now. He transformed into that shuriken.
Yeah, he did.
We're talking about a kid who, to get Genin level, had to transform into the Hokage. And just look like the Hokage. And he couldn't do it.
You're right.
I never, you know, connected that.
Yeah, it's amazing what you find when you go back and you watch these shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good find. I never would have thought of that, but that's very true. Yeah, this again just shows you the chart of progression that he's had, and what I'm assuming isn't a very long amount of time.
I always think, tactically and like in a fight, he's not the smartest brick in the wall, but in a fight, he's pretty
the
smart.
Smartest brick in the wall. That might be another T-shirt, Cody.
Nah.
So, anywho,
yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Does it? Brick in the wall. He's not the.
It's like being the smartest tool in the shed.
Yeah. He's not
or the sharpest bulb in the.
He's not the sharpest knife in the block.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it. So anyway, the shuriken transforms, or Naruto. The shuriken transforms into Naruto.
Not inanimate object. Now has chakra. Naruto died. If everybody didn't know, Naruto died in the Land of Waves arc, and it's actually just a sentient shuriken.
The shuriken banged Hinata. Oh.
I don't know if you can say that.
Spoiler! Oh my gosh, I am editing that bit out. Sorry. This is totally getting saved for like a blooper.
Oh, okay. So, snap back to reality.
So Naruto throws a kunai at Zabuza, and Zabuza quickly puts up an arm to defend it.
The only free arm he had was the one that was holding Kakashi in the water prison jutsu.
Yeah, so it's revealed that this whole thing that Naruto and Sasuke have been doing these last couple minutes was a big, elaborate plan to free Kakashi.
Which smashingly worked.
Yeah, went off without a hitch. Which, again, just speaks to the amazing teamwork that these two genin that have never really worked together like this before and disliked each other. Yeah. It just shows, the level of growth that the two have had at that point.
Absolutely. So, anyways, so now they're free at this point, and Zabuza goes to land a killing blow with the shuriken that he has in his hand on Naruto.
Yeah, and we get this badass visual where Kakashi just puts his hand up, blocks the shuriken. You see blood pouring down his hand. Kakashi's all dripping from the water. His hair's all hung low. And Kakashi just looks up, and you can see it in his eyes. He has that "you have done fucked up now" face.
Yeah, and he's like, that's a great trick, but it won't work on me again.
And so at this point we get into the second half of the fight, which really picks up, and you get to see a great showing for Kakashi.
Yep, so at this point they're both standing on the water. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, how can they stand on water? That doesn't make any sense. It's water. Well, there's a thing called chakra.
Or Katra, as Naruto likes to call it at this point.
And long story short, without trying to break away into anything long term, ninja have the ability to use their chakra to keep them elevated on water, which we actually will in depth talk about later in a different
but anyway
time.
So basically what happens next is we get a really good showing of what exactly the Sharingan can do.
And how good it truly is.
Yeah, so you see Kakashi and Zabuza kind of start to face off against each other, and you see Zabuza start to weave hand signs, and as he's weaving the hand signs, he's saying the name of them. And then you cut to a shot of Kakashi, and he's starting to do the same hand signs.
At the same exact time, mirroring them, saying the words and everything.
Yeah, and so after they're done, they launch a jutsu at the same time, and you see two dragons made out of water rise out of the water.
And these two dragons are just like battling it out with each other, like sending water everywhere, like tidal waves up onto land and everything.
Yeah.
And after that, it kind of knocks them both back,
Yeah, and then I think at this point, doesn't Zabuza continue to start doing hand signs again?
Yeah, so he starts to it's some yeah, he starts to do hand signs or something, and he's basically like you're not gonna get the best of me. You're just a copycat. You're not gonna outshine me.
Yeah, and this is where it starts to get a little weird and kind of like wow, kind of like Inception type stuff. Because as they're weaving hand signs and trying to kind of one up each other, Zabuza is starting to say some stuff to Kakashi, like the basic villain stuff, like you'll never beat me, blah 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 blah. But as he's saying it, Kakashi is saying the exact same thing back to him.
Yeah.
I
forget what the exact word is, but it literally he says it at the exact time, and it throws Zabuza so far off that he just has no clue what's going on.
Yeah, to the point where he sees like an image pop up beside Kakashi, and it looks like him.
Yeah.
And it just he's completely taken aback by it.
Yeah, and he actually stops at this point. He stops doing his hand signs, but Kakashi, because he started them, I guess he knows how to do it now at this point.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is a jutsu that Kakashi had already copied at some point.
Yeah. He does this huge tidal wave.
Yeah, almost like a vortex.
Yeah.
And shoots it at Zabuza. Zabuza's rocked back, and he's going like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
Yeah, he's way too powerful for me to handle. He's too much for me, and he gets sucked down deep into the ocean, and then rocked back onto land by a tidal wave.
Yeah, and then the next shot you see of him is he's kind of leaning up against this tree, and Kakashi is kind of standing above him, with his kunai, and he looks down at him, and you hear Zabuza say, "Can you see the future?" To which Kakashi, just as a total badass, just looks at him, has his kunai, and says, "Yes, this will be your last battle." At which point,
man, the most brutal scene that we've seen so far into this show. After he gets done saying that, it cuts to three. You can't really tell exactly what they are at first, but there are three needles flying through the air, and they just connect straight. Yeah, it's just like that, straight into Zabuza's neck, and just blood just spurts out of the neck, and you just see Zabuza just heavy bag, just headed straight for the ground, and it pans up to reveal. I'm just going to state this now. I always thought it was a girl at first, but they show what is to be believed a water ninja, an Anbu water ninja from
a tracker
the Hidden
ninja.
Mist. Yeah. At which point Kakashi sees him.
Yeah, and he says to them, "Yeah, I'm a tracker ninja for the village hidden in the mist." And we're given exposition, I believe, by Sakura at this point, that a tracker ninja, basically, their job is to track down ninja that have left their villages and gone rogue, because those ninja that leave have all the secrets of their people, and they don't want them giving them to enemy villages.
Yeah, they don't want them either giving them to enemy villages or getting captured or killed themselves, and then the enemy village dissecting them for these hidden jutsus or medicines and stuff that might have been implanted in the body. And at which point I think Naruto runs over, and he's starting to that's so messed up and all that stuff talk.
Yeah, because Naruto at this point has a very optimistic view of everything.
Yeah.
And doesn't really have much of an understanding of how the world works as a whole. And so he doesn't really understand why this is all going on, but Kakashi quickly chastises him and says, "Hey, no, calm down. This is just how it is."
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So then, so what else is there? There's
Okay, so after that, the Hidden Mist ninja kind of gets engulfed in what looks like an air vortex, and disappears, and then reappears right by Zabuza. And he picks him up and says, okay, well, I'm going to take the body. We need to extract all the information out of it. Because at this point, it's believed that Zabuza's dead.
Yeah, because Kakashi went over, he examined the body, and he's like, yeah, looks like a dead body.
Yeah. So the Hidden Mist Ninja picks up Zabuza's remains and, thanks them for their help, and then goes off, believed to never be seen again.
Yep, and then there's a few just questions that Naruto and I think Sakura have just about the boy that took Zabuza away and all that. Just general questions, nothing like super important. But in that time, it's determined that they're just gonna go ahead and go back because they think threat eliminated. They're gonna take.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, we're now seeing, we've taken care of what the person. 5, 4, 3, 2. So yeah, at this point they believe that, okay, the threat's eliminated, we can just do the mission as planned now.
Yeah. Which, is it at that moment that he does, that Kakashi does mentally note that it's weird that he took the body away?
Like in the manner that he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it is at this. I think it is at this point that Kakashi brings that up. That is a little weird, but he kind of brushes it off. He's like, okay, well, hey, let's get back on the road, everyone. And right as he says that, you just see a blank look go in Kakashi's face, and he just drops.
Yeah, I mean, he face flat. And basically it's revealed that the Sharingan, for as skilled as Kakashi is, it was way too much chakra use, to the point of where it knocked him out.
Yeah, because the thing about the Sharingan, I don't think we really explained it when we were talking about it initially, but the Sharingan is a Uchiha exclusive. Like Sasuke's clan, he's a member of the Uchiha clan.
Yeah.
Like, only select members of that clan carry the Sharingan and are able to use it.
Yeah.
And so Kakashi, not being an Uchiha, his body's not really meant to use the amount of chakra that it takes to power the Sharingan.
Yeah,
so anytime he uses it, it's kind of a drainer for him, which explains why he doesn't use it very often up until this point.
Yeah. So basically, then they're left to just journey back to the village. I think Tazuna says, yeah, we'll just take him back and he can rest at my place once we get there. Which actually brings us to the end of the show.
Yeah, we're going to cut it off here, guys. We're going to pick it up here in a couple weeks when we get back to the discussion.
Yeah.
So thoughts, Cody? I mean, what did you think of this first bit that we covered? I mean, I got to say, it definitely holds up for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, the Land of Waves arc is the arc that really sold me on Naruto as a whole. I mean, I love the show, and that's really what established this show for me.
Yeah, I mean, it really sets the tone early, and I think this first bit has so many little moments that really kind of give you a good insight into how this show is going to go going forward. Even little things like, the Sasuke scene when they're fighting the Chunin, Naruto standing his ground, and all the Kakashi moments. This whole fight for me is like just a monument to how awesome a character Kakashi is.
I really love this arc so much, and that's why we're breaking it down into two parts, is because there's so much that happens in this whole arc, and it's actually not like a lot of episodes. It's for the most part, it's actually a short.
It's a pretty short amount of time on screen.
But there's so much that happens that you don't want to leave anything out.
Yeah, I mean, to cover the whole arc in one episode, we would have to come on here and do like a 3 to 4 hour show. And I'm sure people will enjoy this, but I don't think people will enjoy it enough to listen to 4 hours of it.
Yeah, so we kind of want to give it to you in like a good digestible piece. Which, I mean, if you want the whole thing, let us know. But
yeah, I mean, if you guys want us to go longer, we will definitely go longer. I will say, going much longer than an hour and a half, 2 hours at this point, it seems like a bit of a challenge, but I think we're up to it if people want it.
But with that being said, the next one that you'll hear from us is going to be our live podcast, and we may talk about some anime in that podcast. But for the most part, really, that's just it's one of those podcasts that we want to do where it's just stuff going on in our day-to-day lives that we just want to talk about and have fun enjoying. And we might even have a guest on. We may not.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this show that we really want to get across with everybody is, as much as, we definitely enjoy doing these episodes where we're covering anime and all that, and that's definitely going to be a huge part of this show, we're also, just people living in America in 2018, and we just, we want to have a chance to talk about things that we're dealing with, that maybe some of you out there are dealing with, maybe not, and, just talk about things that interest us. So, I mean, I think going forward, the shows are going to get better, and they're going to get tighter, and I think it's something that is really going to... Wow, I'm like having a word salad here. It's going to be cool. The way we're doing this is going to be really cool, and I really hope you guys dig the format.
Yeah, we found as doing this that we really, really do love this. I mean, we listen to a lot of different podcasts, and we really are digesting a lot of this. And to try and give you guys something that you might enjoy, I mean, first and foremost, I really just do this because I enjoy talking.
Yeah, this is just a fun way for us to kind of, get stuff off our chest and talk about things that we love and not really have a filter in doing it.
Yeah, but as this goes, I mean, we love feedback. If you have any ideas or critiques or anything, I mean, I hope you're not too brutal, although this is the internet, and internet people don't usually have filters.
See, Cody's being all PC about it, where me over here, I'm going, bring it on.
Yeah, Dougie wants you to tell him all the brutal things.
I want to know how much you all hate me and you want me to die. I am craving that so much. Please. Please give it to me.
That being said, so yeah,
I'm just kidding. I love you all, and I hope that maybe one day you might love me too. Or at least like me a lot.
A little. But that being said, here in about 2 weeks, we'll be back with part 2 of Land of Waves, Naruto, where we break down and just talk about break it down and talk about all the things that we noticed or enjoyed. But we'll see you again next week. Hopefully you tune in.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. At the time that you're hearing this, our social media will have gone live, so I'll have links to that in the description of the episode. I'm Doug Keeney.
I'm Cody Taylor.
And this is
Kame-Cast.
Bye-bye.